Here's 7.3. We just did the unit circle. This is all review. Here's your unit circle we just did minutes ago. So I'm just going to keep this up here. And we're going to do these as quickly as we can. You should be able to do them pretty fast. So for this one, number 1. And the question is, find all values. So when you see root 2 over 2, could you unrationalize this? That's the unrationalized fraction. So what angle are we talking about where the adjacent, what angle is this? It's a 45er. So either remember when you see root 2 over 2, it's 45. Okay? So we want to be negative. In what 2 quadrants do you have that pi over 4? This is a pi over 4 angle. In what 2 quadrants is cosine negative in? Here and here. So what are the 2 angles that have a 4? What are the 45ers in quadrant 2 and 3? Where are they? 3 pi over 4. So from here to here, 3 pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. So do you understand that? So it's 3 pi over 4 plus or minus 2k pi and 5 pi over 4 plus or minus 2k pi. Okay, the next one, tangent. Draw your triangle in quadrant 1. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So what angle is this? It's a 60. So it's pi over 3. But we want to be negative. In what 2 quadrants is tangent negative in? Here and here. What are the 2 quadrants that are pi over 3 in quadrant 2 and 3? 2 pi over 3, and what's the other one? Which one? 5 pi over 3. Now, if you want to just write this one and write plus or minus k pi, that's okay. But if you want to write them both and write plus or minus 2k pi, that's fine. So that's your option. Next one. Cosine negative 1/2. So I'm going to draw my triangle in quadrant 1, 1 to 2. This again is a 60-degree angle. In what 2 quadrants is cosine negative in? Those 2. So what's the angle in quadrant, that's a 60-degree in quadrant 2? And? Now these ones you have to write plus or minus 2k pi. Okay, root 3 over 2. Another 60 degree. In what 2 quadrants is sine negative? Here and here. So this is 4 pi over 3. And? This one, negative 1. Where's the x value, negative 1? Right there. Negative 1, 0. So this is pi plus or minus 2k pi. Tangent, negative 1. That's a 45er. But we're in quadrant, where's the tangent negative? Here and here. Tangent's negative in quadrant 2, and it's also negative in quadrant 4. So it's 3 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Now how do we write this answer? If you want to just write the first one and write k pi, that's fine, or write them both and write plus or minus 2k pi. Number 7, what's the definition of sine? It's y over r. Where is the y value 0? Here and here. So this one's 0 plus or minus 2k pi and pi plus or minus 2k pi. Now for this one you could actually write 0 plus or minus k pi because you'll pick up this answer. And the last one. What angle is this? So if you wanted to unrationalize this is what it would be. Maybe that's what you should do, unrationalize it. So this would be 1, this would be √3, and this would be a 2. That's a what angle? 30, which is what? Pi over 6. So in what two quadrants is tangent positive? Well, you could just write, this is an easy one. Or you could write, what's the one in quadrant 3? 7 pi over 6. Questions? So this stuff is on your test. I just wanted to give you a review.
Oh, I'm talking about it in the new stuff.
No, this stuff, 9 through 17 is not on your test. It's not, but I want to go still over them. Okay, what was different about these ones? Well, actually, question 9 is old hat. Why is question 9 old? Because the amplitude is still 3. The period is still 2 pi. The increments are still, you're going to do 2 pi over 4, so it's actually pi over 2. And your vertical shift is 2 up. Why is this still the same? Because the b value is 1. The b value is the number in front of t. So how will you graph number 9? So 9 is like what's on your test. So what you do is going to go shift up 2. And we are going to name our x-axis by pi over 2. So this is pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2, and then so forth. And you know backwards, negative pi over 2, negative 2 pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2, negative 4 pi over 2. I wish I had more room, but you're going to be upside down, 3 down, below, on, above, on. So it looks like a bell, right? Okay, next one. Now they're going to change. So what we want here is, can you tell me what the b value is for this? B is 1/2. Okay, so the amplitude is 4. Your period, you're going to take 2 pi and divide it by b, which is 1/2. So if you were to flip this is going to be, your period's going to be 4 pi. So this is horizontally stretched. So now you're going to take your period here, which is above, and divide it into 4. So you're going to count by pi, and then this is up 1. So you're counting by pi units right here. So how are we going to label our axis here? This is going to be 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 4 pi. And then negative pi, negative 2 pi, negative 3 pi, negative 4 pi. So do your shift 1 unit up. And your amplitude is 4. 1, 2, 3, so you're going to go start 4 up and on. Like this. Oops. Next one. Your amplitude is 2. Your period, the b value is pi, so you're going to do 2 pi over pi. What happens to those pi's? They cancel. So your period is 2 now. Cut this in 4s. So you're going to count by 1/2, and there's not a shift up or down. So you're counting by 1/2. So this is gonna be 1/2, 1, 1.5, and 2. So this is -1/2, -1, -1.5, -2. Now, so there's no pi in this, on this x-axis. So you're gonna go shift 2 units up, or your amplitude is, I should say, is 2. Here it is. Anyone have any questions? Okay, next one. So, what's the amplitude here? 3. Your period, you're gonna do 2 pi, divide this by the b value is 2. What happens here? Those cancel, so your period is really pi. Cut this, because it's a cosine, into, because there's 4 increments. So we're counting by pi over 4. And there's, you have a shift 2 up. So we're counting by pi over 4. So this is 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 4. -1 pi over 4, -2 pi over 4, -3 pi over 4, and -4 pi over 4. So I'm just gonna do every other one like that. So this is a shift 2 up. And your amplitude is 3, but it's upside down. So we're gonna go 3 down right here. On, above, on, below. Make sure you do 2 full periods. Questions on that? Next one, tangent. Okay, the steepness is 2. Now the period, this is your b value, 3. You're gonna do pi now divided by 3. It's pi over b. And now you're gonna cut your increments in half, because there's 2 increments for tangent. So we're gonna count by pi over 6, and there is no vertical shift. So we're counting by pi over 6. So this is gonna be 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, and so forth. Your asymptotes are at here, and here, and your x-axis is your regular x-axis, and it's a steepness of 2, so it looks like this. Here. So if you just want to do 2 periods, if it says 2, this is good enough. Does anyone have any questions on that one? Next one, cotangent. Tell me what your b value is. Pi over 2, that's b. So your steepness is 1, your period is going to be pi over 2. Well, how do you do pi over 1? You're going to flip this. So what is your period? 2. You're going to cut your period in 2. So these are going by 1s. So you're counting by 1s. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, -2, -3. This is more than you need. Your asymptotes are on the x-axis, on the y-axis, and then maybe 2, 4, and then this looks like a negative slope with a steepness of 1. Amanda, are you catching on?
Can you go back?
Yep. Right here, you want this? So for cotangent and tangent, your period is pi over b. That's your b value. Pi, so it's pi over 2, which is 2. Then you cut your increments in 2. So you're counting by 1s.
How do you nominate a graph?
Usually it's 2 full periods.
Okay.
Alexis, are you good?
Yeah, wait, can you go back to the graph?
The graphs, yeah. I graphed 3 full periods.
How do you know when to put the half?
With, well, for cotangent, remember it was here and here?
Yeah.
And then for tangent, it was at the first, it was in between.
Then why are you doing the extra goal?
I just did.
You don't have to.
You mean, why did I graph another period?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to show you what it looks like on the other side. This is 2 periods on that side, 1 period on this side. So if I wanted to do 4 periods,
So you only have to do 2 periods?
yeah.
So you should only really do one on both sides.
You really should do 1 on each. Actually, that's your best answer right there.
Okay. So I should
Okay.
do one.
All right, 3 more. How's this one? Steepness, tell me. 1/2. How do you do the, what's the b value? It'd be pi, so it's pi over pi, which is 1. Now you cut this in half, so you're counting by a half, and this is 2 up. You're counting by a halves. So this is 1/2, 1, and you could go 1 1/2, 2. This would be -1/2, so I think that should be fine. Here's your asymptotes. There's 2 right there. And it's a shift 2 up. And it's a steepness of a half. So I'm gonna do my dots right here, but the one in between is gonna be right, it's a half, unless I change my scale, which you could do. If you're going to change your scale, make sure you write what it is, otherwise I assume it's 1s. So does everyone understand that? I know it's hard, it's hard to see with these dots. Start to see dots. Questions, anyone? Okay, let's see how good you are at 16. What's the amplitude? What's your period? It's 2. What's your increments? What is it? A half. Because that's the b value. That's the b value. Because you take your period, which is 2, and you cut it into 4 parts. Because there's 4 parts to the sine and cosine graph. You know how you went on, above, on, below, on, there's 4 parts? There's always 4 parts, so whatever this period is, which is gonna change if that b value is not 1, you take that, what you got, that's your b value, pi. So it's 2 pi over pi, which is 2. So you take your period, cut it into 4 parts, which is a half. So these are gonna be counting by half. This is a half, 1, 1 1/2, 2, and then -1/2, -1, -1 and 1/2, -2. And then you're graphing the cosine curve, and it's on the x-axis. So it's gonna be with an amplitude of 2. So 2 above, on. Questions? And the last one. What's the amplitude? 3. What's the period? What's the b value, everybody? 2 pi is b. b is 2 pi. So you're going to take your period, which is normally 2 pi, divided by the b value, which is 2 pi. What's 2 pi over 2 pi? 1. That's your period. Now cut this in 4 parts. A quarter. No shift up or down. So you're going to count by a quarter. So this is a quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters. -1 quarter, -2 quarters, -3 quarters, in 4/4. And now we're doing the sine curve. What does the sine curve look like? 3 up, easy. And hit James.